Nestled below those miracle islands, Rain Terrace Blessed Land welcomes noble families' children to begin their journey, hoping that cultivation will change their family's fate forever. Strolling up a stone path, Liu Mengli clings to my arm and her lively voice fills the air. She can be a handful, but her innocent curiosity often softens my mood without warning. Watching Mengli pout, I sense she truly values even small gestures. Her demand for candied hawthorns is simple but hard to refuse, especially after seeing her sparkling smile. Despite her outward stubbornness, Mengli's true self emerges when she runs off, glancing back before vanishing. My relief is always tinted by worry and unexpected fondness. Still adjusting to my life here, I think back to the silent first days at Rain Terrace Blessed Land, and how swiftly a year flashed by since Master Lu Yunfeng took me as his disciple. 15 was considered late for cultivation, but I advanced faster than expected. Master Yunfeng noticed my unique talent even when others doubted my potential and perseverance. Others often joke that Master wanted me as a son-in-law, but my thoughts rarely drift in that direction. My journey feels guided by dreams far outside these sect walls. Arriving at the Hall of Affairs, I greet Elder Li and register my journey to Dragon Ridge for herb gathering. Every departure is tracked with strict discipline to maintain order. Elder Li's inscrutable gaze and advice remind me of the dangers beyond the sect. His presence seems timeless, and I wonder how many generations of disciples he has watched come and go here. Onward to Dragon Ridge, I recall childhood as a hunter, trained to spot danger and gather plants. My honed senses ease the burden of uncertain paths beyond sect protection. Some say Dragon Ridge was formed from an ancient dragon's corpse, but legend and reality blur. My true concern now is finding Dragon's blood flower before sunset steals the light. Dragon Ridge feels far too quiet. My every instinct prickles. Never have I sensed such silence, no birds, no beasts, only the tension crawling beneath my skin in the deepening forest. While hunting for herbs, a colossal roar erupts. Down I crash as the pressure smothers breath and thought. This is no ordinary beast, my body simply cannot rise beneath such force. Twice that deafening roar splits the heavens. The next wave locks every joint, clouds my mind, and the myth of ancient dragons no longer feels so impossible to accept or to fear. Suddenly, unseen gentle power sweeps the crushing force away. I stagger upright, dazed and searching the treetops, desperate to understand what miracle just freed me from certain death. From a ridgetop I finally see it. An enormous blood-red dragon writhes in agony, scales glowing with sinister light, its world-shaking form both magnificent and terrifying. Next moment, the mighty dragon thrashes, seemingly seized by some invisible power. A tiny dark dot hurtles through the sky, flung directly toward my position in a blur of escalating dread. Without warning, the dragon explodes in a storm of crimson fragments and light. I try to process the impossible sight as the shockwave hurls me back and the world fades swiftly away. As consciousness slips away, I vaguely register another crater forming nearby. Something or someone has fallen along with the dragon's ruin, and I have no strength left to question fate. Dusk's deep shadows prickle my skin as I force my weary body upright. A crater scars the ground nearby, jagged and raw, new since I lost consciousness just hours before. Barely breathing as tension coils inside me, I inch closer to the crater's ragged lip. Far below, a woman in crimson lies motionless, blood staining perfect lips, her dress untouched. Could she still survive after such violence? I brace myself, jump into the dusty pit, and kneel beside the stranger in red, afraid to confirm what kind of fate befalls the fallen. Relief screams silent when I find her breathing steady but shallow. If even a dragon's tail couldn't end her, what immortal heritage or power must she truly hold within? Helping her means inviting risk, but memory stirs. Someone once saved me a year ago. Can I walk away without offering even a simple kindness to this celestial stranger so far from home? Resolved at last, I hoist her over my shoulders and begin the gritty climb out, determined to help however I can, even if that means carrying burdens heavier than this stranger's weight. Evening chill prickles my skin as I lay the stranger under a gnarled old tree, moonlight filtering through twisted branches. I can't abandon her now, regardless of the danger this brings. Without any answer from her, I gather my thoughts and prepare to take responsibility. There's no right choice, only the road I make, one weary step at a time, as I start toward the sect. Rain Terrace Blessed Land's lanterns flicker ahead as darkness envelops us. I adjust my grip, nerves taut, pushing on toward home, and also perhaps toward disaster, for all I know. Catching Elder Li's worried gaze as I reach the gate, I realize my disappearance caused unrest. His eyes sweep over the stranger on my back, filling with concern, caution, and unasked questions. Explaining quickly, I offer honesty. Elder Li listens, concern deepening, then instructs me to take her to my residence and not reveal her presence. Hidden kindness weighs more than I imagined. Worries flicker as I slip through shadowed corridors. My home welcomes me with silence. I lay her gently on my own narrow bed. The city's noise dims, and I can finally think again. Examining her now in the lamplight, I notice 3 bright ruby diamonds on her brow, like a flower, vivid against flawless skin. The sheer red dress is immaculate, likely a precious treasure. I clean the blood from her lips with a soft towel, wary of touching such otherworldly grace. My hands shake, unsure if I'm her savior or just another presumptuous fool with borrowed courage. Bracing myself for her sake, I uncork the medicine Elder Lee gave me. Carefully, I try to guide the liquid between her lips, hoping to help, but trembling at the line between care and intrusion. Meeting her eyes as she jolts awake and slaps my hand aside, I fall back in shock. Her glare burns through me, furious, sharp, and far more alive than I dared to hope just moments ago. Regret flickers as I see her spit out my medicine in disgust. With awkward humility, I stammer an apology, assuring I meant only to help heal. This isn't how I hoped our encounter would go. Her piercing gaze shifts from anger to uncertainty. She surveys me and the humble room, suspicion mixing with confusion as she steadies herself on the bed, her cheeks pale but will strong. Once her questions begin, I answer honestly, naming Rain Terrace Blessed Land and explaining all. Her brow slowly unfurls, and I glimpse a flicker of trust in her wary crimson eyes. She raises the medicine bottle, sniffs, and only after a long moment does she drink the last of the healing potion. Quietly she thanks me, her voice softer, her proud edge gently fading away. She asks for my name before I can slip out. For an instant, I see real gratitude shining in her crimson gaze, then pride closes her features again as she requests to meet our sect leader. With her true name revealed, Huang Feiyan, Flying Smoke, I bow in acceptance and promise to relay her request. As I slip quietly out, gratitude and worry swirl within my uncertain heart. Today I climb the iron chains, my eyes drawn to the cloud-wreathed floating islands high above Rain Terrace Mountain. Destiny feels heavier with each deliberate step up their links. Feet steady on stone, I bow as sect leader Xia Yunming and my burly master Lu Yunfeng emerge from the luminous meeting hall, sunlight glinting off their striking robes and composed visages. With the escorting disciple dismissed by Xia Yunming, I inform the two of Huang Feiyan's request, the sect leader's surprise flickering in his eyes before he calmly nods and gives his careful instructions. In a rare gesture, sect leader Xia Yunming lays a steady hand on my shoulder, quietly assuring that sometimes a challenge is fate's opportunity, for the sect, or perhaps even for myself alone. Sect leader Xia Yunming leaps, carrying me in a single smooth motion down from the floating islands, wind roaring past, before landing softly on Rain Terrace Mountain's familiar sunlit stone peak. Once we land safely, he tells me someday I might leave this sect behind, but I must never forget the mountain where I began my cultivation journey. His gaze wistful, words weighed with meaning. After Xia Yunming's departure, alone atop the high terrace, I puzzle over his words, feeling a mixture of hope and loss seeping into my heart as I walk slowly back to my humble residence. When I return, Huang Feiyan is sitting cross-legged on my bed meditating. Opening her eyes as I enter, her color has improved. Serene confidence surrounds her like moonrise in the quiet chamber. Offering a chair, I address her respectfully. The sect leader is coming soon. She nods, her strength subtly returned, but I'm drawn to her mysterious power and quietly awe for what lies behind her gaze. Curiosity presses as I inquire about her realm. She admits to Qi realm, astonishing me with her youth and cultivation. Awkwardly I ask her age, and she grants me permission to call her sister. She playfully guards her secret before revealing she's only 2 years older than me. Her smile's charm briefly dispelling the distance between our worlds, awe and surprise flickering within me. But when I praise her, the light dims as she looks away, voice turning quiet, asking why I cultivate. Sheepishly I tell her I want to catch up to the celestial being who once saved my life. Her gentle voice returns, she's also chasing after someone, wanting to prove she hasn't failed her. A quiet understanding flows, kindred spirits, united by longing and the urge to grow stronger. Encouraged, I share how little I know of my savior, only her power remains in memory. Huang Feiyan smiles kindly, promising that both our hopes remain within reach, soft assurance in her voice. Contrary to my expectations, her gentle acceptance puts me at ease. Despite the gap in our realms, we find common ground, heartened by new kinship that bridges our different worlds, at last. A hurried knock disrupts the calm. Sect leader Xia Yunming enters, his gaze sharp as Huang Feiyan greets him with knowing composure, their words hinting at tangled histories and hidden significance. Understanding the signal, I quietly leave as tension and secrets pass between them. The air hums with mysteries beyond my reach as I close the door and step out into the garden path. Stepping outside, I soon find my master Lu Yunfeng waiting for me beneath a swaying willow. His cheerful voice barely hides worry as he asks after my safety and mentions Liu Mengli's concern. He tells me it's best to remain in the sect, promising to inform Mengli himself. As his voice turns gentle, he urges me not to forget those who care for me, him, my master, and my junior sister. With emotion, he reveals Elder Li could not divine my potential. The sect leader intends to send me to new heights, trusting Huang Feiyan's arrival may be my opportunity. I am left speechless, uncertain, but grateful. Swallowing a lump, I promise my master I'll never forget this place or those who support me, no matter how far I go. His boisterous farewell blends pride, sadness, and fond hope for my journey. With steady urgency, sect leader Xia Yanming instructs my master to seal Rain Terrace Blessed Land and alert the secluded elders. Something dire clearly weighs heavily on his mind. Grim direct orders, Xia Yanming turns to me with guidance. He insists I must personally attend to Celestial Huang, her approval vital to my cultivation and the sect's future strength. Weight lingering heavily, doubts gnaw at me, the sect benefits. But did I act rashly? Perhaps rescue was right, but bringing her back may have burdened everyone with unforeseen consequences. Restless uncertainty aside, I return home to find Celestial Huang meditating with poised indifference. Despite her injuries, she radiates composure beyond anything I can muster myself. Celestial sister, if there's anything you need, please ask. Awkward words as I offer hospitality beyond my comfort, but her composed nod makes the request feel surprisingly natural and simple. Her silent calm, studying me, then observing the room, reveals both subtle interest and immense self-control. Even injured, her presence seems to effortlessly command my attention and respect. Entrenched in the room's quiet, I sense powerful spiritual energy flowing vigorously from her. It surges and calms, awe-inspiring and unsettling, reminding me how huge the gap is between us right now. 6 months since advancement, my gathering stream realm stands stable. Reflection and anticipation stir as I brace for the next great threshold, shaping the Taishi spring, forging a deeper flow. Timing my approach, I weigh the risks. Heat of summer brings unstable energy, while winter chills can prove too disruptive. Autumn's arrival signals the most favorable season to attempt breakthrough. Spiritual energy circles Huang Feiyan in swift, silent waves. Compared to her voracious absorption, the difference between us feels insurmountable, and I finally understand the meaning of natural talent. Master once told me, at Transcendence Realm, a cultivator can generate internal energy and rely less on drawing it from nature. Still, Celestial Huang's injury demands she absorb every shred from her surroundings. Absorption slows at last. The room's air regains calm, and in this strange quiet, a mix of respect and anxiety dwells inside me. How much could I improve through effort alone compared to natural talent? Sudden cheerful cries, Mengli's voice and hasty footsteps race closer. As she bursts in, her gaze locks onto the mysterious guest beside my bed, curiosity sparkling in her clear aquamarine eyes. My pulse quickens. Mengli's pointed questions about my beautiful guest put me on the spot. Huang Feiyan's eyes flicker with amusement, while I fumble for answers that won't unravel all my secrets. Mengli's whirlwind of worry pours out. She demands explanations, recounts dragons in the sky and her brave escape from Elder Li, unleashing both care and playful pout in this tangled reunion. Feeling Mengli's genuine concern, I reassure her as gently as I can, petting her head. I wish my words could let her safely go, but her bright eyes keep returning to my guest with stubborn interest. Unshakable curiosity, Mengli presses for the truth, and as I stammer replies, her clever deflection stings, while Feiyan's subtle amusement flickers. I flinch, unprepared for sister-in-law jokes in front of her. Shifting Mengli's stare, I sense how complicated this must seem. Feiyan's presence is hard to explain, and my little sister's innocent questions feel almost comically out of place. Feiyan's gentle words urge me to escort Mengli. Her calm confidence hints at unspoken strength. Mengli's nod shows she understands, and I silently hope she doesn't ask more questions now. Walking hand in hand with Mengli, moonlit paths stretch before us. Her persistent, innocent questions about my guest spark guilt, and my heart tightens, wishing I could spare her any confusion. Gently squeezing Mengli's hand, I do my best to explain. Her wide-eyed agreement grants me a flicker of relief, and I briefly forget my own anxiety as she earnestly promises to keep our secret. With Mengli's playful teasing about sisters-in-law still ringing in my ears, I can't help but smile, her earnestness shining through, as she insists we're from the same world, not so different after all. Smiling at Mengli's promise, I gently pinch her cheek before ushering her home, the comfort of routine bringing quiet ease. If only I could always protect her from worry and uncertainty. Once Mengli is safe inside, I retrace my steps beneath steady lanterns. My path is quiet, yet whispers of privilege and expectation linger in the air, a subtle weight I carry each night. Patrol disciples pause me near my cottage, their courtesy ever present. They remind me to observe curfew, and I sense their mix of respect, envy, and silent calculation just beneath the surface. Returning home at last, I find Feiyan by the window, moonbeams reflecting on her crimson dress. Her beauty is surreal, so distant that I feel both unworthy and profoundly grateful for her presence. For a brief moment, admiration nearly overcomes me, but I steady myself. I rest with my eyes closed, letting silence fill the air as Feiyun continues gazing upward, her thoughts worlds away. Feiyun's voice draws me back. She offers the bed, but I politely refuse, determined not to waste even a breath of night on sleep. We're both cultivators, striving for something only we understand. About cultivation's weary ritual, Feiyun seems to admire my focus. Her gentle praise is a rare warmth, but soon she grows curious, asking about the mysterious celestial woman who once saved me. Describing my mysterious benefactor, I recall her almond-shaped eyes and the faint mark on her forehead. Disappointment lingers at my lack of detail, but Feiyun listens, her smile both gentle and distant. Feiyun's response is patient but grounded. She explains how common such marks are, then asks for more features. I can only give a regretful, unsure shake of my head, wishing I remembered more for her. Feiyun's words comfort me. She speaks of cause and effect, urging patience for fate's answer. Her hope stirs renewed faith, and in her calm, I find reassurance that one day, I'll make things right. Dawn breaks softly as I finish my meditation. The gentle clarity of morning fills my body. I see Feiyun still seated, but pale and blood on her lips. An instant of dread shatters my calm resolve. Feiyun's weak shake of the head tries to reassure me, but my heart pounds as I fetch medicine. Returning, I find her collapsed in fever, the air shimmering with unnatural heat that makes me recoil. Worried by Feiyun's groggy awakening, I hand her the medicine. Her voice is weak but determined, and my own concern grows as I sense the gravity of her ordeal. The poison far more sinister than imagined. My heart twists as Feiyun coughs, her lips bloodied. I offer to seek help, but she refuses, sharing the truth with a soft voice. Only pure yang energy can remedy the yin poison slowly devouring her. Remembering the celestial woman's strange words about my unique yang energy, I prick my finger and offer my blood to Feiyun. Her hesitation vanishes the moment our skin touches, shock flashing in her eyes. Gentle warning fills Feiyun's gaze as she tells me never to reveal my blood to others. I learn its yang energy is coveted for alchemy, and the risk of exposure could mean capture. Words half joking, Feiyun sets aside her own needs and reassures me. Her injuries severe, she finds comfort saying fortune led her to me, not some legendary dragon's blood after all. Grim realization dawns about my abilities. Feiyun admires my regenerative power. Many have praised my talent, but no one will explain why it's special. I'm numbed by praise without clarity. Determined to help, I prick my finger again, letting blood drip into a bowl for Feiyun's healing. Her nod is reassuring before Lu Mengli's frantic voice bursts from outside our quiet room. Sudden urgency floods the room. Lu Mengli bursts in, warning me that I must hide Feiyun. Her father and the sect leader act like a great threat looms, stirring both confusion and alarm. Hearts pounding, we absorb Mengli's words. Enemies aren't searching for a friend, but for Feiyun herself. Hiding is futile, and with danger at our doorstep, healing becomes our only hope. Uncomfortable silence lingers before Feiyun takes my hand, breaking the scab on my finger and drawing blood. Her face flushes, and Mengli reacts with embarrassed shock at our close contact. Awkward apology from Feiyun meets my quiet acceptance. Her gentle words insist the blood is for healing alone. Yet the mood is flustered, our faces burning in the stillness of the guest chamber. Outside our sheltering walls, a tense confrontation unfolds as Rain Terrace elders square off against a group of young cultivators seeking Feiyun. Not all is as it seems, and danger crackles in the air. Mysterious woman with a sweet smile faces the elders, but her companion Zheng chills the air. Her request to release her friend swiftly escalates into an ultimatum as promises of peace vanish. Tensions erupt as the man called Uncle Zheng makes a brutal move. He incapacitates one elder and throws Lu Yunfeng across the sect's gate in a single chilling exchange of devastating power. Zheng's silent threat intensifies as he grabs the last defiant elder by the throat, demanding Feiyun's surrender, while young mistress watches with cold patience. The elders falter before raw might. Sect leader Xia Yanming arrives, ordering restraint. He negotiates with young mistress, accused of only seeking Feiyun's life. A tense agreement forms. Feiyun will be handed over, but tempers flare. An uneasy truce forms as young mistress claims true friendship with Feiyun. Zheng finally releases Elder Chen. Sect leader Xia Yanming leads the outsiders into Rain Terrace, tempers barely contained. Pointed warning from Zheng hangs in the air as he reminds Xia Yanming the sect stands on the edge of ruin. Young mistress flashes a sweet approving smile, cloaked threat beneath polite courtesy. Inside, Feiyun resumes absorbing the yang-rich blood with renewed vigor. Her aura sharpens, the poison in her veins recoils before life energy. I'm awed, seeing her recovery accelerate visibly. Noise erupts outside as commotion swells. Feiyun's tense alertness warns of threat. I yank my hand free, pull Mengli behind me, hearts hammering as footsteps approach our haven at Rain Terrace. Tension breaks as Elderly appears, urgency in his voice. We're told to take Feon and escape. Disciples must flee to the back mountain. Master's loyal gift, a cloth bag, lands heavily in my hands. Shock and fear grip me as Elder Lai orders us to flee. Is my master truly in danger? Mengli's eyes fill with terror, but Elder Lai vanishes before we can ask more. Panic and uncertainty drive us on. Change hovers uncertain as guilt shadows Feon's silent face. Time has run out. Our only choice is to escape into the mountains, carrying hope, loyalty, and worry in the darkness beyond Rain Terrace. Strained silence lingers as I assure Mengli everything will be all right, my voice trembling as guilt grips my heart. Still, I make myself smile. She only has me to trust now. On edge, I pack our things, slinging Elderly's cloth bag over my shoulder. With Mengli's anxious gaze and Feon's guilty silence, we brace ourselves for the unknown outside. With Mengli in my arms, we hurry uphill into the shadow of the back mountain. Huang Feon keeps up, silent but determined despite her pallor, fear and urgency swelling in every breath. Surprised relief strikes as we join others at the back mountain clearing. The disciples' anxious faces search for hope, while Elder Qijin greets us, her calm presence reassuring amid chaos. Cold guilt seeps in as Feon wants to split from us, fearing her presence will doom the sect. Elder Qijin's steady defiance sparks debate, sect unity hanging by a thread. Bitter reality dawns as Elder Qijin weighs the choices, lose Feon and doom her sacrifice or risk everyone. The elders' solemn faces reflect the crushing danger pressing on us all. Clarity coalesces as I step forward, volunteering to leave with Celestial Sister. Elder objections ring out, making me realize how much the sect has pinned on my future. Hope and duty collide. Helpless sorrow surges as elders object, valuing my future. My insistence draws all eyes, while Huang Feon wavers between gratitude and torment. For her sake, I act against the sect's wishes. Urgent tension peaks as I ask Feon if she can escape alone. Her silent hesitation confirms everything. Danger looms closer with each decision. Yet I won't watch my friends die for me. Devastation spikes as Mengli pleads not to be left behind. My heart nearly shatters, but before I can try to reassure her, the earth trembles violently, and a blinding light engulfs the peak above. Daunting energy swells as the mountain's protective formation activates. Rings of supernatural light cascade downward, urgency flaring in Qijin's voice, as all are ordered to flee before we're trapped inside. Blinding gold light seals the mountain as we descend, world blurring behind us. Grandmother Qijin leads the way, but my mind aches, knowing Feon and I will leave in secret soon. Worry boils in my gut, steps faltering as Qijin counts survivors. Her gaze sharpens into worry, for Feon and I have already taken a secret path, smiling sadly to myself. Mengli unaware. Sting of sacrifice echoes as Grandmother Qijin knocks Mengli unconscious. Tears spring to my eyes from afar, but it's our only chance as Huang Feon and I slip deeper into the forest's gloom. Breathless resolve settles as Feon and I vanish among ancient pines. Away from sect eyes, she challenges my resolve. Her warning that I'll die only hardens my determination to be the bait. Defiance tingles in the air as Feon argues with me. Her steady gaze hides fear. I press, asking if she can leave a trail that only her enemies will follow. She finally nods, catching my intent. Solemn assurance passes as Feon rips a strip from her dress, infusing it with spiritual energy. Her leg glimmers through the torn fabric, my plan for a narrow escape finally falling into place. Everything crystallizes as Feon explains the power of divine sense, a sixth sense only strong cultivators have. I probe for details, determined to make this deadly trail trick our foes. Relief and urgency pulse as Feon details divine sense's limits, marks, auras, little else. Hope sparks in me. The enemy isn't all-seeing, so our trap might succeed if we work together fast. Decision made, I urge Feon to start laying the bait for our pursuers. We set our sights on Dragon Ridge, a desperate hope that together we might buy time for everyone else to escape alive. Bitter wind claws at us as I watch young Mistress snarl. If Zhang hadn't intervened, she claims, the old man's trap would have claimed us all. Her worry seeps through her bravado. Thunder rumbles distantly when the young mistress commands us to search for Huang Feyan. She trusts that Zhang will escape an ancient formation, giving orders with dangerous certainty in her voice. Clouds drift overhead while the young mistress's cruel resentment burns. She vows that after catching Feyan, she'll wipe out Rain Terrace blessed land, only pausing to glare at their tracks below. Every step forward stirs anxiety when the young mistress senses Feyan's aura behind us. Confusion tenses the group, suspicion growing that Feyan left her allies to run alone, an ideal moment for pursuit. Shadows ripple as the young mistress's cruelty sharpens. Feyan, injured and fleeing, has no hope. Her bloodied trail spells doom, and we turn away from the Rain Terrace group, setting out to hunt her down. Silent leaves crunch as Huang Feiyan and I reach Dragon Ridge's edge. Her lingering pain is obvious, while my mind races to lay snares along her torn dress's trail. Every second our lead grows thinner. Her question lingers as Feiyan asks for my plan. Giving her hope, I tell her about Dragon Ridge's breadth and the dangers within, an expanse teeming with beasts far stronger than simple prey. Sweat beads quickly as Feiyan considers the bear's territory. She hears my plan to use ferocious instincts against our foes. I see surprise in her eyes as I reveal my hunter's past. Feigning nonchalance, I guide Feiyan to mark the path as if by accident. Her torn dress caught upon roots and rocks, each clue a trap baiting our pursuers deeper. While I focus on finding the bear's trail, sharp odor drifts as I spot fresh bear scat, a rare moment where hunter's logic outweighs revulsion. Feiyan recoils, pinching her nose, while I analyze the clues. This gamble could be life or death. Quirked brow answers Feiyan's protest about toilets. Cultivators transcend such needs, but ferocious beasts don't. I hide a smile as blood and strategy converge, preparing the final bait to lure danger. Blade glimmers briefly as I cut my wrist. Feiyan's gaze sharpens with hunger born from her wounds, not malice. Blood hits the mossy ground, saturating the trap's heart while fatigue seeps into my bones. Pain fades fast as Feiyan quietly bandages my wound. Our last clue left, she helps me rise. We limp towards safety, each footstep haunted by the hope that our ruthless pursuers will take the bait soon. Startled breath escapes as the young mistress catches the scent of my blood and powerful yang energy, not Feiyan's at all. Then a heavier stench and tremors warn us. Something enormous is charging near. A thunderous roar shakes us. Suddenly, their cultivators are flung aside off-screen by the crazed divine gate bear. In panic, the young mistress takes flight as the bear's ferocity erupts below. Panic explodes overhead as the enraged bear chases the fleeing young mistress. Her spiritual energy drains fast, while the bear, eyes wild, thrashes trees and gives furious chase, each moment bringing disaster closer. Tension coils anew as Feiyan supports me past the edge of bear territory, her jade hand firm on my arm, new caution in every step, while the wild spiritual energy thickens, promising both peril and hope. Numb fatigue prickles as we reach a secluded cave at a cliff's base. Feiyan's deep breath echoes. This will be our place to rest and heal before an inevitable next chase. My heart pounds out our dwindling reprieve. Drained courage courses through me as I open another wound for Feiyan, blood flowing into a clay jar, her gratitude interlaces with dread. She drinks, I press on, steadied by the need to buy her time. Swallowing fear, I stagger to the cave mouth, Feiyan out of sight as I put myself between her and danger. Pale, shaking, I square my shoulders. Nothing matters but giving her a chance to survive. Craggy roots loom above as I tumble clumsily from the cave, weakness overwhelming. I play victim as Yunling appears, fox-eyed and calculating. She feigns concern. I cling to my role, helpless and lost. Innocent pleading pours forth as I feign confusion, lying that I was taken by the evil woman inside. Yunling, interest piqued, plays along. Her grasp on my bandaged wrist is calculatingly gentle. Doubt narrows her eyes as Yunling dabs at my wrist wound, drawing in the scent of my blood. I bite back fear and act grateful. She's visibly tempted, already scheming with each soft-spoken word. Silence lingers as I flick my scab open, offering blood. I watch Yunling's fascination. Her voice is gentle, promises veiled. I let apprehension slip through, readying a trap behind my innocent facade. Beneath her syrupy words, danger flickers. She promises safety after killing the woman in the cave, but greed prickles in her golden eyes. I hide my smile. The trap is already in motion, irreversible now. Soft warning glides out as I stop Yunling at the cave's mouth. Her smile freezes, confusion shadowing her face. I hint that danger is internal, not from me, and she finally realizes something isn't right. Revelation flashes white as Yunling realizes the truth. Her face stark with dread, I reveal the trap. My voice booms with grim finality. Using spiritual power will finish her, poisoned by her own greed. My throat closes as Yunling's hand lifts me off the ground. I keep calm. Revealing my knowledge of her peril, I gamble that the so-called poison frightens her into hesitation. Shifting my voice low, I feign confidence and mock her for needing me. My life and her survival in Dragon Ridge are now intertwined by my threat of antidote. Blood pounds in my head as Yunling snarls, her grip tightens but she hesitates, uncertainty writhing beneath her arrogance while she weighs the threat of poison. Tension climbs as I reveal my connection to Huang Feiyan, claiming I brought her here. Yunling's expression morphs, shock, anger and disbelief flicker across her fox-like eyes. Eyes fluttering, I nearly black out from lack of air. Yunling weighs her options, frustration fighting with fear, then finally releases me. I collapse, gasping on the stone floor. Slow breaths return as Yunling hurls threats, eyes wild. I retort, voice ragged but taunting. I reveal I never sided with Huang Feiyan, making her second-guess my motives. A surge of spiritual pressure flows into the cave as Huang Feiyan awakens inside. Tension spikes. Yunling's glance sharpens, puzzlement and wariness written in the set of her gold brows. Shadows deepen as I assert Huang Feiyan's doom is inevitable, hinting I failed to poison her. Yunling's uncertainty grows. She questions if my venom is real or a desperate lie. Her eyes cold, Yunling offers a deal. My antidote for her forgiveness and Rain Terrace's safety. I see through her ploy. Trust is a weapon sharper than any sword in this cave. Cold confidence flows as I mock, saying I can craft the antidote but doubt her promise. Her power couldn't cover her murderous intent. I would cure her today, only to be slain next. My heart pounds as Yunling, eyes blazing, shouts, "She'll kill me first if it comes to that." I meet her glare, daring, letting exhaustion and boldness ride my words, even as her hand closes in again. My sneer falters as pain erupts. Yunling's fingers dig into my throat. Blackness creeps in at the edge of my vision, but I refuse to beg. If she wants me dead, she may act now. Dizziness wraps me in static as I go limp, breath shallow. Yunling abruptly lets go, her hesitation edged by panic. I slump senseless, cheek scraping the cracked stone. I drift at the edge of consciousness. Yunling, impatient, launches for the cave's mouth, her target, Huang Feiyan, who sits meditating in the red-lit gloom, focus unwavering. Awareness fades as blows echo. I sense a fierce struggle. Yunling attacks, but Huang Feiyan counters, sending Yunling flying out beside my body atop the cold, unforgiving ground. Blurry shapes swirl as Huang Feiyan stands above Yunling, now furious and newly powerful. I can barely sense the exchange, instincts telling me their battle has just begun. The world muffles as Huang Feiyan's sword lashes out. Yunling narrowly blocks with a bronze bell, a deafening ring splintering the trees and echoing off stone while I drift in unconsciousness. A ringing haze overtakes me. The bronze bell cracks at the next strike. Yunling coughs blood as sword energy splits the clearing, while Huang Feiyan's lotus mark flares and trees collapse. From darkness, I sense the battle shifts. Yunling gathers strength, conjuring illusions of night and moonlight as Huang Feiyan presses, both their exhaustion scraping the edge of their power. Sudden shock slices through the haze. Lightning quick, a veiled woman in white appears and kicks Yunling senseless. Before Yunling rises, she slams her face down again without mercy. Life tugs at me as Huang Feiyan hurries over. Checking my breath, she proclaims, "I'm safe." The veiled woman, Qingying, peers down, her ice-blue eyes curious beneath the delicate face veil. Strength returns as I'm lifted. Huang Feiyan calls me her savior, gratitude brimming in her smile. Qingying watches in silence, then explains, her master came to aid Rain Terrace. Rain-soaked scent lingers as I'm carried. Huang Feiyan and Qingying discuss the fate of Rain Terrace's people. Hope glimmers. With Holy Master Yueying's arrival, survival feels possible. With slow, blinked clarity, Rain patters distant as Qingying's cold voice cuts through silence, questioning what to do with Yunling, trapped face down, her defeat sharp and unresolved. Rainfall softens every edge. Huang Feiyan's words pierce my haze. Take Yunling to Rain Terrace, barter for aid. She hesitates and asks that my opinion be weighed before any final trade. Cool detachment radiates from Qingying as her appraisal lingers on my unconscious form, curiosity flickering behind her veil. She studies my wounds, like I am some unsolvable riddle. Abruptly breaking any stillness, Qingying stoops, lifts Yunling with efficient strength, then speaks. Her voice sliced sharp, unhesitating, inviting Feiyan to depart this haunted forest clearing. What race between death and dream brings peace? Darkness saps feeling, my mind circles regrets, promises unfulfilled, people left behind, and the ache of a name forever out of reach. Promise-keeping memories blur, Lu Mengli's safety, an unopened cloth bag from my master, devotion for sect leader Xia Yanming, time bought to secure Celestial Sister's vengeance, yet all feels unfinished. So much unfinished remains, never knowing her name, never catching up, but hoping I did not disappoint her, or betray that one darting hope she once showed by saving me in passing. Regret flickers with clarity. Saving Huang Feiyan led to peril, yet I do not regret it. At least my act may have given Celestial Sister enough time to escape, to conquer fate that would claim us. When sadness threads through darkness, a delicate silhouette dissolves, her image receding no matter how desperately I chase. Frustration crescendos, then shocks me awake into brightness and confusion. Splintered light and scent of herbs snap me conscious. This is my own room again, its old wooden paneling and low lamplight bathing familiar shapes in golden warmth. The haze of dream recedes at last. Familiar footsteps approach. Huang Feiyan, bright and relieved, brings a bowl of soup, her smile softening the stiffness in my heart. I ask after Yunling, piecing together the fragmented night. Soup's warmth seeps in as Huang Feiyan explains, Yunling captured, Rain Terrace safe. But she falters when I ask if we are truly home, her eyes hinting at trouble still looming for the sect. I brace for the worst as Huang Feiyan shares somber news. Sect leader Xia Yanming nearly lost all, his cultivation dropped, unconscious but alive. The others, mercifully, suffered nothing but minor wounds. Surprise strikes, though Xia Yanming's realm is crippled, everyone lives, even my master. Injury is sorrow but not despair. For a cultivator, defeat is a wound, but annihilation is truly loss. Huang Feiyan speaks quietly. Her friend Yue Qingying called for aid, and Holy Master Yue Ying arrived. Disaster averted, the disciples are being retrieved. Outside, stormlight barely filters into our refuge. Huang Feiyan's patience morphs into soft smile as she outlines the 4 major realms: Spring Opening, Transcendence, Saint, Apex, each with winding minor paths, my mind trembling at the thought of limitless worlds ahead. Layers of cultivation unspool: Spring Opening's numberless brooks, Saint's enigmatic Tai Yi, and Rotating Core's mystery. My head spins, power beyond anything known, roads rising without end. Her confident faith glimmers. Huang Feiyan encourages me that I may one day surpass sect leader Xia Yanming. The world feels richer, filled with challenge, pain, and hope, both sharp and bright. She hesitates, then shares her secret. Quest for dragon god blood to heal her at, failed by yin dragon soul. Yet hope endures. She sensed mighty yang energy pulsing within my veins' depths. She speaks gently. If I consent, my blood might awaken her aunt where dragon blood failed. No force, just invitation to the Huang family, her trust clear, our shared debt binding these words. I meet her hope. My agreement is a promise, weighed by everything suffered and endured together. She beams at my trust, inviting me to walk with her and greet our returning sect companions. Hand in hand, we stepped into morning sunlight. The devastation struck me, the floating islands had vanished, Rain Terrace halved. My mind reeled with dread and relief intermingled. Calm blue sky, shards of the mountain's former grandeur scattered below. Huang Feiyan explained. Rain Terrace lost half its summit, barely saved by Holy Master Yu Ying's timely intervention. Shadows fell as Huang Feiyan's regret took shape. I met her sorrowful eyes, the weight of loss pressing on us both, yet I found gratitude we'd survived, and the sect could still endure. Ruined landscape mirrored my turbulent thoughts. Days of chaos had shifted every familiar certainty. Each step down the slope, dust danced, the future feeling foreign, yet weighted with memory. Descending together, I finally asked about the rotating core realm cultivator's fate. Huang Feiyan's answer reassured. His power sealed by Holy Master Yue Ying, threat temporarily ended for us. Soft side glance, Huang Feiyan pressed. My will mattered for Yunling's fate. Her gaze so luminous, it flustered me. I turned away, unable to measure against her rare beauty or aura. Faced with her trust, I confessed my dilemma. The right thing, so hard to discern. We could not afford more enemies. Helplessness nagged as justice, safety, and consequence battled in my heart. After our exchange, Huang Feiyan conceded. Either fate for Yunling was acceptable, as long as I decided. Her silence preserved my freedom, her loyalty shining beneath her nonchalance. Landscape's spiritual energy thinned. Where abundance once glowed, now gentle currents faltered. Half a mountain's absence, subtly warping the world, leaving resolution and longing tangled together in the air. Near sunset, an ethereal figure appeared at the foot of Rain Terrace. Huang Feiyan greeted her. Yue Qingying, holy maiden, veiled and beautiful, her presence luminous and subtly disquieting. Strange comfort radiated from her, Yue Qingying's gentle voice soothing the raw ache in my heart. I thanked her, echoing Huang Feiyan's celestial sister joke, embarrassment coloring cheeks beneath sunset. Even as her subtle smile hid behind the veil, Yue Qingying's glance lingered. I sensed her scrutiny. Did I truly merit Huang Feiyan's esteem? Her interest soon faded, curiosity left unsatisfied. Evening deepened, mystery thickening in the dusk air. I glanced for fellow disciples, none returned yet. So I lingered beside Huang Feiyan and Yue Qingying, nerves swirling beneath my calm exterior. At last, black dots approached from the horizon. Elder Qian led returning disciples, and hope flared in my chest. I signaled them joyfully, my anxious vigilance suddenly melting into relief. Disciples gathered, Elder Qian's glance swept over us, her relief soft but tangible. Questions about the sect leader followed, and I answered quietly. He lived, gravely hurt but breathing strong. As one or two disciples pressed for answers, I deferred. Let the sect leader speak, I insisted. Comfort mingled with exhaustion. For this one moment, we settled under Rain Terrace's battered shadow. Elder Qizhen led our weary party back toward Rain Terrace, her authority gentle, the assurance in her steps a balm. Ancient ties to Wind Spirit Moon Shadow's sacred land echoed in the elders' hearts. Home's battered outline welcomed us. I hurried toward the Hall of Affairs. Concern for sect leader Xia pressed in, but hope lingered. His wounds rumored mendable. Our battered faith, not yet crushed. Unexpected apparition arrived. Yue Qingying bowed, and suddenly, Holy Master Yue Ying materialized. A dazzling figure, her form nearly formless, celestial power veiling her. Awe and shivers laced every breath. Words passed between them, concern cloaked in chill courtesy. Holy Master Yue Ying's presence pressed all speech from me. She vanished like a dream, leaving awe and gratitude clinging to my spirit. Relief finally swept over me after Holy Master Yue Ying vanished. My nerves loosened, her overwhelming presence fading, letting some ordinary humanity return to the battered hall. Secretly wishing for calm, I watched Lu Yunfeng check my wrist and examine me. His relief showed. In the battered hall, every uninjured disciple became a rare source of comfort. Fleeting pride flickered in me as Master called me capable. Yet his tone was complicated, hesitant, our joy overshadowed by Xia Yunming's condition and lingering uncertainty. Serious matters pressed in as Master pulled me aside. I confessed Celestial Huang's request and my doubts about whether my blood was truly a fitting substitute for dragon blood. Vulgar jokes aside, Master's encouragement made me rethink my reluctance. I respected him, yet the complexities of gratitude and motive churned restlessly beneath the surface. Contemplating my place, I admitted just how attached I'd grown to Rain Terrace Blessed Land. Would leaving now bring growth, or would I regret abandoning what little sense of home I'd found? Words about the sect leader's regrets tugged unexpectedly at my heart. Trapped genius, potential unfulfilled, and he wished a freer future for me than he'd ever known himself. Eventually, Master's tone softened, urging me toward friendship with Feion, but putting all choices back in my hands. For once, I saw what trust and quiet love really looked like. Thinking quietly to myself, I moved through familiar halls. Any talk about being groomed for marriage never matched what I felt. My allegiance was to my goals, not someone else's arrangements. Torn between moral ideals and reality, I weighed my options. If I refused, Feion's aunt remained in peril. If I accepted, would my feeble blood truly offer anyone hope, or just disappointment? Principles often turned heavy, so I reminded myself not to cling too tightly to high ideals. Sometimes, doing good meant allowing for practicality, and not just noble suffering. Dew gleamed on old stones as I neared my residence, but I froze. Yu Qingying waited under a gnarled ancient tree. I hesitated, not wishing to disturb her silent midnight vigil. Yu Qingying called me fellow Taoist, such a small phrase, yet foreign and momentous. I stammered, stumbling for words as her calm amusement mingled with the night's cool air. Curiosity broke my hesitation. I asked if Celestial Sister had something to say. Her voice, warm as mountain spring water, dissolved the strangeness, and I found myself answering truthfully. Questions flickered between us. Why had I saved Feion, and did I know the cost? Honesty compelled me. I admitted my decision owed as much to kindness as to loyalty and fate. Yue Qingying's gentle words unraveled heavy questions lingering in me. Risk, loyalty, justice. For now at least, our choices kept Rain Terrace safe. No one had truly lost everything yet. Remembering Sister Feion's plea, I weighed Yunling's fate. Was mercy practical, or would it lead to ruin? Could revenge guarantee peace, or just breed more secret enemies for the future? Both choices seemed cruel, and I couldn't decide who deserved mercy or retribution. No matter what, sect leader Xia's pain lingered as the price. Only he should have the final word. Prepared to leave, I turned when Yue Qingying's words pierced the hush, her insight clear as ice, urging me to choose ruthlessness for Feion's sake, not only for vengeance or sect loyalty. Respect and misgiving mingled. Her logic was cold yet not without care. I promised to give the matter due thought, and beneath the shivering pines, silence was my only answer. Moonlit solitude awaited me as I found Feion at my window, her crimson dress aglow. Compared to her, even legendary phoenixes seemed common. This mysterious elegance unsettled me. Elegant but distant, Huang Feion finally turned to me, catching my worried look as I asked about her family. She smiled gently and revealed her mother would arrive tomorrow to see her. Celestial Sister responded candidly. My blood's yang energy might rival dragon blood, but she could not be sure. Only her mother's arrival would reveal if I truly could help save her aunt. Without promise, my words grew hesitant. I offered what help I could, warning not to hope too much, as disappointment could cut the deepest. She nodded, her smile tinged with sorrow. Silent hours crawled by as we each meditated in our moonlit corners, uncertain what the next dawn would bring. I tried to steel myself, knowing my path might soon change forever. Sleepless at sunrise, I felt the spiritual energy had thinned in Rain Terrace Mountain. Perhaps asking Feion's help to find a new home for the sect could become necessary in the days ahead. Stepping outside, I saw disciples bustling along stone paths, their energy returning to Rain Terrace. Their greetings lightened my mood as I made my way toward the Hall of Affairs alone. Huang Feion waited in the Elders' Hall with Yue Qingying. Their presence filled the room. Feion's beauty striking, Yue Qingying's veiled face serene as always. I greeted them both respectfully. Morning sunlight lit Feion's smile as she told me sect leader Xia had awakened and wanted a private word. My nerves jumped. It was never easy to face those I'd nearly gotten harmed. Nerves jangled, I stepped into sect leader Xia's quiet room, where elders lingered. Xia Yanming looked haggard, wounds run deep, even for the strongest. He dismissed the elders for privacy. Without pretense, sect leader Xia urged me to accept the Huang family's offer for both my sake and the sect's good. His conviction was unwavering, though fresh wounds still marked his form. Regret gnawed at me. I apologized to sect leader Xia for inviting trouble. Honest as his answer was, he reminded me that weakness gave us little choice amid the storms beyond these walls. Xia Yanming's voice deepened as he instructed me to handle Yunling's fate myself. Releasing or killing her, he left the weight of consequence on my shoulders, trusting I'd understand the risks involved. Speechless at such trust, I struggled to find words. Sect leader Xia gave me no easy answers, just the weight of this world and a reminder. Only true strength could let our opinions matter. Freedom still far off, I was dismissed to accompany Celestial Sister, but Xie Yanming's words lingered. Sacred lands. How would my so-called talent measure up in a world far beyond our own? Sacred lands loomed on my mind as I searched for Feiyun and Qingying, learning they were at the summit. Doubt and determination fought within me. Surpassing the limits here would take everything. Summit standing bare, I found Feiyun, Qingying, and Holy Master Yu Ying near the prisoners. Yunling glared at me, defeated, resentment burning. I bowed low, awestruck by the scene. I steeled myself and voiced my decision about the captured enemies. Feiyun's eyes sparkled, but as she spoke the wind changed. With a sudden glance to the horizon, all tension shifted instantly. Manifesting with each step, Wang Feiyun's mother appeared at the summit, a vision of cold red regality. Just watching her collapse space made my skin prickle with awe and disbelief. Kneeling, Feiyun apologized tearfully to her mother, Huang Junru. Even the proudest celestial could be humbled. I held my breath, a silent witness to their reunion, hoping not to intrude. Clouded outlines drift, and I cannot meet Huang Junru's eyes. Beside Feiyun, duty and dread tangle. I glimpse Yunling's stillness. One wrong turn here would be unforgettable. Departure beckons quietly as Holy Master Yue Ying and Yue Qingying blur, farewells a mere whisper. The summit empties and even mist seems lighter without their silent watch. Mist edges shimmer gently as I try to excuse myself, but Feiyun's words stop me cold. She kneels, voice frail yet firm, my value unexpectedly found in the promise within my blood. Fine trembling fingers draw courage as Feiyun pleads my case. For me, anxiety prickles. I offer my blood, uncertain if I'm anything but an ordinary person caught in someone else's tale. Hushed distance remains as Huang Junru asks to examine my constitution. I nod, suppressing tension. Her spiritual energy brushes inward, leaving a trail of insight and mild discomfort behind. Lingering spiritual trace vanishes, but tension remains thick. Feiyun's wounded hope shines as she waits. Will my blood be enough? Even with answers so near, my anxiety sharpens with uncertainty. Mother's verdict echoes as Feiyun's face blooms in surprise. My blood is medicinal hope. Relief and gratitude blossom, but the warning of the unknown Huang family future chills my courage. Balance returns briefly when Junru expresses thanks. I sense the need to depart and bow low, leaving the summit behind as the weight of destiny follows me with every quiet step away. After he vanishes, quiet contention erupts. Feiyun bows for judgment, her mother's scolding clipped but not cruel. Old resentment hidden deep under layers of stern maternal worry. Guilt heavy in silence, Feiyun seeks answers about my talent. Her mother's explanation is grave. The human king physique, potential great enough to threaten, wonder mixed with a taste of rivalry. Human king physique, a name I'd only heard now. I watch as Feiyun probes, but her puzzlement meets only her mother's impatience. The atmosphere crackles with revelations and looming aftermath. Rain terrace walls blur as I return. Liu Mengli's voice rings out, a sudden cascade of relief as she leaps toward me, small joy brightening the dense corridors of my moonlit solitude. Return brings reunion. Mengli bounces with glee, her happiness quickly forgets my troubled heart. Yet as I promise to go away on a journey, shadows flicker in her eyes. Separation's ache begins. Dimming lanterns flick as Mengli's sadness grows. She wants to come, yet the truth weighs on me. This is no place for companions. Promises offered are heavy, and dangers lie beyond understanding. Softly I wonder, could loyalty trap me? If my secret were exposed, even friends might turn. Only purpose steals me. Regardless, I must keep my promise, but travel with unguarded heart is finished. Tears almost fall, but I block them with gentle resolve. Even if my fate shifts, my word remains. I promise Mengli I'll return, memory echoing like chimes in an empty sun-soaked hallway. Small promise sealed, Mengli's pinky lingers in mine. Time and fate mean little to children's oaths. I play along, seeking to anchor her hope for the 1,000 uncertain years ahead. Final playfulness erupts. Mengli pouts, snatches her hand away, yet hope glimmers. Outside, my heart steels itself for the coming trials. There are promises I'll keep, even if the world turns cold. Not every arrival surprises me. Huang Junru's early presence hinted at something larger. Strongest among her clan, she led the way, setting expectations before others appeared. Breeze carried voices. After Huang Junru, more of her family, an entire host of women, arrived at Rain Terrace. Xia Yanming welcomed them, everyone's movements dignified, their path unfolding carefully. Was it mere custom or intent? Seeing an entire clan of women, I quietly wondered if the Huang family counted any men. The mystery of their lineage stirred gentle curiosity within me. Elders assembled. Xia Yanming and other leaders led the climb to Rain Terrace's summit. Important matters were discussed where lantern light streaked across polished stone and hushed voices waited for dusk. Tonight's hush found me waiting alone. When gentle knocking sounded at my door, I recognized Huang Feiyan's aura, but she entered only after I welcomed her. Her respect like subtle moonlight. She entered quietly, sitting beside me. Her smile shone, calm reassurance easing my doubts. She explained everything had been settled. Her mother brokered peace and a future for Rain Terrace. Intercontinental gates. Her words painted a world immense. Tomorrow, travel would take a day with the gate's power, no years of endless wandering. I marveled at the means cultivators possessed. Immortal distances were dwarfed by such gates. I considered how 4 years could vanish to just a day. My gratitude for Feiyan grew. I would have remained ignorant, but for her guidance tonight. Feiyan's voice glittered with kindness. Her mother and holy master Yue Ying stood at the peak of human gateway realm, so close to legend that lesser realms fell before their power like scattered petals. How vast the divide! Junru's effortless power haunted me. The difference between human gateway and rotating core meant defeat or dominance. One crushes, the other is broken, the truth written in memory. Feiyan revealed their ages. Over 3 centuries, maybe far older. Their preserved voices and beauty seemed untouched by time or burden, another mystery woven into the world of high cultivation. Breaking news arrived with soft apology. As a man, I'd stay in the guest area at the Huang family. Feiyan's regret felt sincere. One more rule among the gossamer boundaries of their world. Caution's gentle warning. Feiyan urged I stay silent on the family's visit. Rain Terrace safety depended on silence, secrecy and trust, so I promised loyalty bound by circumstance and respect. Kind gratitude shone in her eyes. She thanked me not only for saving her, but for hope I'd sparked for her aunt's return. She promised new chances, alliances, and help on my daunting path ahead. True friendships are rare. The honor of being called her friend startled me. A celestial so exalted reached out, but pride whispered not to forget. If I could not match her, we'd only drift apart. She insisted we drop honorifics. No more celestial sister. Her nod was playful yet sincere, a small barrier fallen. We were equals, if only for a fleeting moment beneath Rain Terrace's silver night. After she left, I contemplated what true friendship meant. After all, I could not let myself be left behind. Resolve burned inside. I would walk my own path and catch up, or be lost to memory. In the midnight quiet, I prepared for breakthrough. Cultivators dream of the day their power advances. I centered my mind, letting go of all else, listening for the shifting tides of energy within. Opening of new springs demands perfect control. Every acupoint is a needle. Every error brings collapse. Pressure and pain arrive, but my will learned from hardship. Pain cannot stop those who pursue purpose. Every movement was methodical. I opened the great brook springs in my legs, connecting them to existing channels. Power surged anew. The feeling was unmistakable. Tonight I crossed a significant threshold. As power flowed through 6 springs, clarity returned. Sweat traced cool lines across my skin. Relief coursed in stronger pulse. Another step forward, one step closer to forging my own legend. A soft call at dawn broke my reverie. Feiyan's voice reminded me departure was close. Filthy from Breakthrough's aftermath, I laughed. Soon I'd face the next journey. Body and spirit cleansed anew. Emerging refreshed, I saw Feiyan radiant in a red palace dress trimmed with gold. Her elegance was unmatched, and seeing her regal appearance made it hard to meet her gaze directly. Her gentle greeting pulled me from my thoughts. For a moment, I stumbled over her name, remembering our new friendship, and how proper address carries different meanings between men and women. With a chuckle, Feiyan led me toward the summit. Her warmth made her stand apart from her cousin, and I found myself curious about the sharp contrasts within the Huang family. Many elders and red-clad women greeted us on the terrace. I was surprised by the Huang family's beauty, graceful women in veils, their features rivaling even Yunling's, though none quite matched Feiyan. Keeping my eyes averted from the hazy figure, I bowed with respect. Holy Master Yuying's presence was unmistakable even from a glimpse. Cold voice, veiled power. Curiosity pulled at me, but I dared not stare. My farewells were short. Xia Yanming's words urged me forward, while Lu Yunfeng hesitated, concern flickering unspoken in his eyes. I felt their weight as I bowed one final time. Huang Junru summoned a striking carriage from thin air, runes shimmering before fading. Its beauty was intimidating. Feiyan smiled and beckoned me to join. They'd already made space for me inside. Inside the mystical carriage, I marveled at its vast space, like a miniature mansion, not a cramped vehicle. Feiyan led me through elegant halls. I could feel dense spiritual energy all around. Feiyan cautioned me about wandering. Unmarried elders would soon board, unfamiliar with men, and their behavior could be unpredictable. I was grateful she let me stay at the edge of their world. Left alone, I sat cross-legged in my quiet chamber. The spiritual energy here was dense and warm, identical to what Jinru once used on me. It filled my body, its touch now entirely comforting. Hours passed consolidating springs, the carriage's warmth accelerating my progress. Every breath carried Jinru's unique energy. I realized my body had finally adapted, accepting what I once resisted. Wondering where we traveled, I left my bed, tempted to explore. But I stopped, remembering Feiyan's warning. The elders, unused to men, might not appreciate an unannounced guest in their halls. Soon, a striking woman in red entered, closing the door before turning with playful surprise. Recognizing my presence, her smile hinted at mischief. She seemed barely older than me, but her aura was different. Addressing her as sister felt safe. She laughed at her mistake, examining me with a lively curiosity. Her playful charm was so unlike the regal air of Feiyan or the coldness of Jinru. She introduced herself as Feiyan's second aunt, lively and curious. I stammered out apologies, insisting there was nothing between Feiyan and me. Rumors seemed unavoidable in this household of beauties. A call from Feiyan saved me from awkwardness. She entered, cheeks rosy, realizing her aunt had likely teased me. These misunderstandings seemed unavoidable, but Feiyan didn't explain herself. Feiyan invited me to see the teleportation gate, her expression gentle, curiosity brightening her eyes. Grateful for an escape, I quickly agreed and stepped forward to join her, wondering what awaited beyond. Flushed lantern light greeted us as we exited the carriage together. Huang Feiyan's words about her family's legacy in the intercontinental gates echoed through my mind, filling me with respect. Greeting a circle of elders with Feiyan, I realized how unique this family was. The easy laughter and younger faces left me dizzy. Never had I seen elders so lacking in formality. From a distance, the teleportation gate soared over the mountains, a swirling blue energy filling its heart. Its circular form and the mist made it seem divine and impossibly grand. Our carriage soared above the bustling town below, ascending through the mist instead of descending. As we rose, the crowd thinned, and the gate's power felt even more overwhelming. Ascending into clear sky, the carriage reached a quieter platform atop the gate. Just two cultivators in lacquered armor guarded the space, giving us only brief glances as we passed by. As the carriage entered the swirling blue energy barrier, every sound quieted. We passed through without resistance, stepping instantly into a strange, shifting passage of luminous blue. In the endless blue passage, Feiyan warned me not to fly randomly here. Travelers risked being lost in unknown places. Only with a special token could one use the gates freely and avoid these risks. Thanking Feiyan for her help, I felt awkward. She insisted her gratitude came from friendship, not debt. Her bright smile and earnestness almost made me laugh with relief. Her gratitude blushed across her face. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, insistent that she wanted to repay me. The moment brimmed with gentle embarrassment and genuine warmth. Great emperors, the most revered beings, were responsible for constructing the teleportation gates. Their power is unmatched, the gates impossible to build without their direct involvement. Curiosity surged as Feiyan described the current Great Empress Qingzi, whose reign and lifespan defied all logic, a living legend, 10,000 years and more, crowned with an immortal name. A single empress has ruled for nearly 15 centuries, her legend woven into the calendar. For ordinary mortals like me, even the span of 150 years feels impossibly short in comparison. Suddenly, sunlight pierced through. We'd left the strange dimension behind, emerging into open sky again. The sight of real clouds and sunlight was a relief after that blue-lit strangeness. In a little over an hour, we'd reached the Huang estate. Feiyan reassured me I could rest now. There would be many things ahead that might trouble me, but I felt oddly at ease beside her. When she offered to accompany me back, I felt grateful. In my private room, light filtered through, and Feiyan lingered for a moment, her mood both casual and sincere. A comfortable companion. Feiyan paused, curious if I wondered about her calling every elder aunt. I admitted my confusion, sensing her desire to share a treasured secret about her family's mysterious ancestry. Her words unfolded generations of legend, women uniting the family as direct descendants of the Phoenix god. The Phoenix blood pool's origin mystified me, its power both sacred and arcane. Only women are born in the Huang family, daughters conceived by drinking the Phoenix blood pool, never by marriage. Generational bonds are strong, everyone close, tradition ruling all relationships. So only 2 generations, mothers and daughters, exist. Elders are aunts, women of my own generation are sisters. Even female guests can disrupt this beautiful but carefully guarded balance. Astonished that cultivators could reproduce asexually, I finally understood why men and even most women were barred from the Huang inner courtyard. Feiyun's sincerity had erased all awkwardness. Feiyun's quiet apology for any perceived rudeness felt unnecessary. Her respect shone in every glance. I assured her I understood, and a quiet peace settled as sunlight warmed the chamber. Her final words lingered as she stepped away, leaving me with new understanding. I wished her good rest, heart lighter, the astonishing secrets of the Huang family echoing quietly within my soul. After the gates parted, sunlight flooded my senses and I shielded my face. Anticipating the sun, I was stunned by the glowing phoenix statue, wings outstretched, radiating majestic power. Nothing I'd seen compared to the phoenix divine statue's vibrant, graceful form. Each wing ablaze, feathers intricate, bird's eyes shining blindingly, casting an ancient protective aura over all below. Light pooled beneath the phoenix as mist revealed swirling islands and a vast cityscape. I stood breathless, awed by beauty and power. Beside me, Feiyun bowed in silent veneration to her family's legacy. Plaque above the vermilion gate read Huang Manor, its weight palpable. Delicate runes shimmered over the plaque's surface. A faint, ancient pressure made every step beneath it feel momentous. We crossed the serene plaza, between family's inner sanctum and guest domain. Inside noise swelled, mingled conversations, searching glances, voices tinged with curiosity and ambition, all swirling toward Feiyun. Every whisper echoed as we passed, doctors discussing celestial Qingfei, people yearning for favor, everyone noting Feiyun's presence. The eldest miss had unmistakable gravity. Swirling rumors shadowed her steps. Conversations faded as Feiyun's arrival silenced the crowd. She walked, calm and unhurried, smiling gently as eyes turned. Rumors swirled and tension sparkled beneath polite exteriors and calculating stares. New scrutiny followed me everywhere. Sharp glances, appraising stares, even admiration from a few. Despite instinct to turn defensive, I kept my expression composed, following Feiyun deeper into unfamiliar territory. Turning slightly, I spotted youths with sharp eyes glaring my way, hostility barely concealed. Feiyun's warning rang true. Rivals watched, ready to test or torment me, just to curry favor she'd never return. A memory surfaced. Wild males competing for females, clawing for attention but earning wounds and nothing more. No matter their efforts, the female, like Feiyun, remained forever untouchable in her proud solitude. Suitors' earnestness puzzled me. They knew they couldn't claim Feiyun. Yet rivalry raged, old patterns playing out. I hoped their envy wouldn't turn to reckless schemes and pointless conflict within the family estate. Following Feiyun, I resolved not to fear rivals or danger. Victory in a head-on fight might be hard right now, but I wouldn't shrink away from risk. Rewards awaited those who seized opportunity, not comfort. Guest quarters appeared, clean and well lit. Feiyun glanced at me, voice warm as she promised help. The room radiated hospitality, pride, every detail conveying her family's careful reputation and respect for guests. Her smile drew me in, sincere and dazzling. For a fleeting moment, I envied those pursuing Feiyun before remembering my own ambitions. In another life, perhaps I'd have chased something simpler here. In a heartbeat, Feiyun quietly requested my blood. I agreed, her gentle hands working swiftly. Afterward, I watched as the wound healed instantly, evidence my regenerative body had outpaced ordinary cultivation. Alone at last, I flexed my arm and marveled as the wound scabbed over. My progress in the Great Brook realm increased my regeneration. Soon, even routine blood draws would prove nearly impossible for others. Surveying the guest room, I noted every detail. Clean linen, faint floral scent, intricate runes etched above baseboards. Traces of complex formations hinted at deeper mysteries I failed to comprehend. I soon abandoned the runes, knowing the magic surpassed me. Even in the outer courtyard, the spiritual air felt intoxicating. No wonder Sacred Land disciples could grow so powerful so quickly here. This place offered few exploitable secrets, but the risk was part of the thrill. I trusted my body, honed from years of hardship and praised for its resilience. My regeneration had become my best weapon. But my weaknesses were obvious. I lacked masterful techniques to channel my power. Rain Terra's scripture was profound, but it never trained me to fight. My body outpaced my skill, leaving untapped strength within. Contemplating my path, I considered asking Feiyun for help. But for now, I stilled my mind, sat cross-legged upon the fresh sheets, and let the world fade as I returned to cultivation. Determined to grow. With careful steps, Huang Feiyun entered the shadowed courtyard where her mother awaited. My own thoughts turned inward, as I tried to sense the faint echoes of spiritual power in the air. Feiyun's hands held the vial of blood tightly as she approached her mother, each step rehearsed. I could only imagine the weight between them as their eyes met in muted confrontation. Junru uncorked the vial and inhaled the blood's faint fragrance, her eyes glimmering as she contemplated its hidden potency. I could sense Feiyun's anxiety at her mother's reaction. Junru's words were sharp as blades, her view of my blood as treasure, her calculations starkly clear. Feiyan's regret radiated beside her, a silent storm shadowed by family history. Junru's next words cut deeper, reminding Feiyan of her recklessness and the aunt who still lingered in coma. In her shadow, even apology becomes hollow, the weight of guilt sinking deeper. Behind her mother's vanishing silhouette, Feiyan stood alone, lost clear in her posture. The burdens of hope and regret seemed carved into the stones beneath her, as sunshine flickered through. Examining transformations, I marveled at the increased spiritual flow within me. Small sparkling springs fed my chi, each surge amplifying my strength and hinting at future cultivation milestones. As spiritual energy converged in my chi, I felt an unprecedented inner richness. The realm's difference echoed like a current, promising new reserves for battles and techniques I'd longed to try. Strange patterns revealed, my consciousness drifted, immersed in the vast illuminated chi. Previously, only higher realms glimpsed such clarity, but now I stood within my own inner world. Swimming through luminous flow, I investigated the gentle spiritual stream. Cool, colorless before, it now glowed rich blue, solid, yet soft, mysteriously pleasant upon touch, a new reality unfolding. I recalled the scripture's claim. At this level, objects could dwell within the chi. I withdrew, grabbed a spirit fruit, encased it in my energy, and transported it inward, sensing it settle within. Spirit fruit appeared inside, a testament to my new ability. I delighted in this small miracle, realizing its strategic power. Now, storage capacity rivaled those of higher realm cultivators for material objects. With more storage, it was time to choose my weapon. Cultivator arms must bond with their user, drawn, summoned, and nurtured by spirit energy. My mind wandered to weapon choices, strategy forming. Ideas spun in my head. Should I consult Feiyan for advice, or trust my instincts? I finally rose, curiosity winning, and set out to explore the outer courtyard, the world blooming with new clarity. Sun-drenched pathways led me toward a miraculous scene, an ancient peach tree, gnarled and blossoming, fruit glowing golden pink above rich roots. Its vitality throbbed in the courtyard's energy-charged air. A polite male voice greeted me, drawing focus from the tree's rich blossoms. I turned to see a refined young man with a fan, his noble attire pristine, and his manner warm yet measured. Zhao Feiliu's words were smooth as silk, offering courtesy but tinged with pride, inviting me to pick a peach from the ancient tree brought from Yaoqi, its magical aura filling the gentle courtyard air. Declining the offer, I glanced modestly at the peaches. Zhao Feiliu's tone remained pleasant, but I sensed the subtle social test, a measure of restraint, background, and how I viewed myself. Zhao Feiliu asked for my name, earnest behind formality. I introduced myself simply, uncertain of his intent. He revealed his own identity and notable family ties, his pride a mask for insecurity. I replied honestly, knowing little about his brother or the powerful Zhao family. Zhao Feiliu's confidence cracked with surprise, but he took my ignorance as humility and tried to brush past it. Zhao Feiliu's demeanor shifted, offering a polite warning about my friendship with Feiyan. The mask of courtesy fell to measured threat, revealing the real rivalry and tension simmering below calm words. Unwavering, I rejected his claim that Feiyan belonged to anyone. My tone chilled, refusing old traditions. Zhao Feiliu, undone but diplomatic, restated his warning and ready to quiet, dignified exit. Zhao Feiliu's exit left me uneasy. How did fleeting encounters always spark trouble? The familial possessiveness around Feiyan's name reminded me that every step in this world risked fresh entanglements. Later that evening, I was cultivating in my temporary residence when Feiyan knocked gently on the door. I welcomed her in, surprised at how easily this new, almost warm routine had formed. Feigning calm, I asked Feiyan about her aunt and the test results. She admitted there wasn't an answer yet, gently warning me not to rush so nothing would endanger those in need of healing. With measured courtesy, I confided details of my run-in with Zhao Feiliu. A flicker of annoyance flashed across Feiyan's face before she hid it, promising those troubles would soon end. Reluctant curiosity, I asked why anyone chased Feiyan if the women of her family never married. With poise, she discussed persistent rumors, hinting this gossip fueled outsiders' interest. Before I could question further, Feiyan presented a slightly worn scroll. With delicate care, she claimed it was an ancient technique especially suited for me. I hesitated, stunned at her thoughtfulness. Carefully, I accepted the sun and moon scroll, surprised by the warmth the gesture evoked. For the first time, I wondered if this sense of camaraderie was what true friendship was meant to feel like. Thinking back, I realized my entire childhood was spent apart from others. Even among cultivators, my only companion was a junior sister, not truly a peer, not a friend. Standing here, Feiyan was my first. Warmth lingering in my chest, I listened as Feiyan downplayed her own sacrifice. She claimed her family's women couldn't use this scroll, insisting giving it to me saved a treasure from being forgotten. She explained how she'd looked for the human king physique in her archives, only to find this scroll instead. The technique, she claimed, was suited solely for men, another thoughtful excuse. Cautiously, I opened the scroll to see the words Sun and Moon Scripture painted in strong calligraphy. Something about those words felt strangely resonant, as if fate itself was woven into each stroke. With a touch of reverence, I listened as Feiyan described the technique's origins. Found in an ancient tomb, and too incompatible for most in her family, this scroll's true value lay gathering dust in their archives. I stored the scroll in my chi-si, too late realizing this was unusual for someone not yet at the illuminating sea realm. Feiyan's surprised reaction quickly gave way to acceptance and gentle warning. Chastened, I promised not to reveal my abilities. Feiyan simply laughed and urged caution. Her concern calmed me. I sensed no envy or greed, only genuine care I was still unfamiliar with. Hesitant, I asked if it was time to select my weapon. Feiyan agreed, suggesting careful consideration and listing how the right materials and fit would be critical to forging a cultivator's path. Weapon ideas flickered through my mind: sword, saber, bell, even cauldron, yet nothing rang true. I frowned, realizing I barely understood which art or object could become my proper extension. Encouragingly, Feiyan told me the family would reward my help by letting me choose weapon materials. I tried to refuse, but she insisted. Gifts and rewards, she teased, were not the same thing. She tapped my forehead with her finger, reminding me I'd saved her twice. Her playful affection left me speechless and made me smile despite myself. That sense of being cared for still felt unfamiliar. Feigning exasperation, I admitted defeat in every exchange with Feiyan. Her confidence, stubbornness, and playful warmth made me want to laugh and trust her, a sharp contrast from my guarded old habits. After Feiyan's departure, I mulled over the word friend long after she left. It was an unfamiliar, pleasant ache, something warm that made the world suddenly seem less hostile and more full of possibility. Once alone, I drifted into meditation and entered my chi-si. The sun and moon scroll floated there now, luminous with a subtle energy. I willed it to my hand, curiosity and apprehension mixing deeply inside me. Newfound awe, I stared at the characters sun and moon on the aged scroll. The more I gazed, the more they pulsed, one golden, the other silver. I sensed boundless significance hidden in these ancient strokes. Gold and silver glows intensified. The characters detached from the scroll, rising and falling, one transformed into a tiny radiant sun, the other a silver moon, orbiting above and below my inner world's horizon. Splendid, surreal power illuminated my chi-si. A miniature sun hung overhead, radiating warmth. I understood none of it, only that this sutra, just given to me, outshone even the Rain Terrace's founder's work. But awe ran with anxiety. Surely a chi-si should not have sun or moon. Still, this celestial pair glowed from within me, hinting that whatever celestial sister had truly given, it was nothing ordinary at all.